So I'm going to play some Dead Cells, which is an older roguelike game that I picked back up a little bit ago and have been having fun with and am moderate to bad at. So that's always fun to experience. Oh, I'm going to just be like a little ghost down here in the middle of the screen, aren't I? There is some chat integration that happens. It's admittedly not the best. I wish it was a little better. Why is the game not showing up? There we go. Now the game is showing up. That's more like it. Yeah, but yeah, I wish that the chat integration was a little bit better. It's not the best. It spams chat because the panels don't work. So it's, you know, it is what it is, but I'm gonna probably turn off some of the options just so it isn't as excessive. I don't know, Dan, if you're here, or Practical. I don't remember if you guys recall what it was that I had turned on or off. I don't remember. I think I already did the changes. Because we turned off level modifiers, which got really, really silly. And we don't need the community codex. So basically, you can vote on level suggestions. You can become the chicken. So yeah. We will set forth with that. Apologies in advance for the chat spam. Hopefully it's not as bad this time compared to the last time because I've turned off at least some of the things, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So if you're unfamiliar with the game Dead Cells, you are a dead clump of cells that is forced to continue to come back to life over and over and over and over again, which is how they, you know, get the roguelite thing going on. And you unlock all kinds of stuff. There's so many things in here that I haven't unlocked, new weapons and all that fun stuff. And you run through the level. So if anyone wants to, you can become Captain Chicken, which basically means you get to be my little chicken friend. Ooh, hold on, I need to switch these weapons. You get to become a little chicken friend if you do pick me in chat, I think, assuming it's working, which I haven't seen anything pop up in chat, which makes me wonder if it's actually working. If it's not working, it's not the biggest loss, if I'm being honest. But it is one of those games that you feel very cool when you do cool things, and you feel very not cool when you do uncool things and make silly mistakes, which happens quite a bit. But there is, you know what? I'm gonna go this way because I think this is the Castlevania DLC. Yeah. And I haven't actually done the Castlevania DLC because I don't have anything really unlocked, and it's very difficult. But the music is fantastic, and I would like to experience that. And it'll make for a very quick first run. And we can get some akimbo frying pans. Like nunchucks, but frying pans. So if any of you have played Castlevania, you may notice this is Shinoa. She's hanging out. I still think it's like incredible the amount of crossovers and everything that indie games have been able to get. It's very, very cool, and not something... I never would have expected all of the Castlevania crossover content. Like, I think they have something with Balatro now. Balatro? I actually know how to say that, but... Another game that will eventually show up in my library and take over my life, I'm sure. Did I not spend all my... I did not. So you get cells by playing through the levels and doing good. And, you know, you upgrade your stuff. I actually want to upgrade the health flask. Balatro is a great game. You've played it quite a bit, haven't you, Dan? Because they just came out with, what other game crossovers did they do for the card art? I know they did. I know I saw something for Castlevania, but Tall Sunflower pretty much told you you're not allowed to play Castlevania? Oh, you tried starting with the original. It was so hard. Okay, well, Rockstar, my friend, you can't start. I don't think that's going to be the game that you can really do that with unless you want to torture yourself, because the original Castlevanias, there's like 6 of them and they are brutal. But if I could recommend you some good ones, honestly, any of the ones for the DS are fantastic. Symphony of the Night, there's I'm a couple of the other names are escaping me, but really any of the DS ones, and then PS1 era, yeah. Dawn of Sorrow. There's oh yeah, this is going to be a short run in it. They're great. These enemies are not so great. Dave the Diver, Cyberpunk, and Isaac all have card skins in Balatro. That's really cool. Oh yeah, Cyberpunk was the other one that I saw. Yeah, that's right. Very, very cool. Just that, I mean, it's simple stuff, right? Like it's not, you know, oh, here's a whole big open, you know, DLC expansion or whatever, but it's still just like the nod. Like this game too has all sorts of indie game crossovers, and it's so cool to see when we're kind of in a little bit of an era of AAA stagnation, I guess. So it's really nice. It's really nice being able to have that and experience that, because indie games have been doing some incredible things lately. There's more, but those are just the ones in your mind. There's, yeah, well, they did 3 and then they did another 3. But yeah, like Dead Cells has Slay the Spire, Hollow Knight, all kinds of stuff going on in this as well. Can't open this door. Oh, okay, so it is working. Dan did the pick me. Very nice. Oh, here's the secret. So Dan can become a chicken friend. And then you get to be responsible for my healing. / heal me when you want to. Honestly, it's just fun having the little chicken friend, like adorable little chicken. These guys do a lot of damage. These guys do a lot of damage. No need for healing. Oh yeah, you have to heal me. I was gonna say I don't think Caps works for the integration. And like I said, it's not a great integration. I need to pick up Cult of the Lamb though. I never played that, and it looks really great. I wanted to play it for a while. And actually Mary was playing it, and she's got a great little cult of folks. You can have people in chat can become your cultists, which is pretty cool, because you know, it's fun to have people show up on stream, and you can then laugh about the fact that you just show up and are immediately old. I didn't realize you could actually die of old age in that game. That was a startling discovery. But another roguelike that has a nice kind of weird charm to it. Like, it's creepy, but not... Isaac, The Binding of Isaac was one I could never really get into, and honestly it was because of like the art style. I didn't jive with the kind of gross out part of it. It was a decent game all around, but it just wasn't quite a good fit for me in terms of the content and art style so much. I think that there's so many roguelites now that it kind of becomes a little oversaturated. Oh, I can just like go all the way up? No. What have I done? It is rather gross, yeah. I don't think I was supposed to go that way. Is this a secret? No. Yeah, just the content of it wasn't exactly something that I appreciated as much as others. Same thing with like Enter the Gungeon, I played a good bit of that, but like, it was very difficult. Enter the Gungeon was not an easy game. And it got to the point where it was not... Oh, wait, is this the thing that I do? Oh, geez, I missed it. Gotta call the elevator. Yeah, it was so hard. Like, it stopped being fun. There's a point in which games like, I like roguelites because I like that sense of progression. I like the sense of feeling like I'm getting better at the game. But I don't like that coming at the expense of my sanity. I don't like that at the expense of my fun. Like, if I'm getting too frustrated playing a game, it stops being fun. Like, that's one of the issues I had with the Dark Souls games too. Like, I know, get good, whatever. But when you have... Oh, I have fallen back down. When you have a game that is supposed to be hard, and you can get better at it, that's one thing, but it stops being fun when I feel like I'm hitting my head against a wall, right? And the Dark Souls like 1 and 2 were that for me. I had a little bit better success with Dark Souls 3, but I think that Elden Ring really hit the mark for me because you could certainly still get just as frustrated. I did, constantly. But the nice part at least is when you get to a point and you're like, hey, I'm frustrated with this boss, I don't want to fight this guy anymore. You can move on, and you can go explore somewhere else. And that's something that you can't in the other Dark Souls because it's linear. We got harpies now. And I can't speak for Sekiro because I didn't play that, or Bloodborne, but I believe those are both still pretty linear, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Rockstar doesn't have time to get good, he wants to have fun. You don't want to have to get good. I get that. And that's why I really appreciate games, and Dead Cells is a fantastic example of this, I think, that have kind of like customizable difficulty. And not just easy, medium, hard, but like that actually let you tailor your gameplay experience in a way that is suited for you, right? Like, I just think that there's so many things. Ooh, yes, I want a wolf trap. There's just so many things that you can spend your time on, and getting frustrated at games isn't one of them when they're supposed to be fun, right? So, you don't want to work in the game too, you work all the time, right? Yeah, easy mode is great, games that have a story. What I like to see is when you have customization, like maybe it is just the enemies do less damage, or I do more damage. So it's not just a sweeping across the board thing. Being able to customize the difficulty is really a neat thing, and there's some games that do that. Even if it's just like for roguelites especially, because they can be a lot less accessible for various reasons, difficulty being one of them. I don't think I can go this way. And I think that that's something that really has a lot of importance, right? So I like to see when they have accessibility options in games for sure. When it comes to difficulty, or when it just comes to like, I don't know, things like colorblind mode. Not all games do colorblind mode. I mean, most games do. What is this? What was that? Is that a weird cat? The accessibility in this game and a couple others, it's really solid. Yeah. I mean, Dead Cells is the one that specifically comes to mind for me. Okay, that's a lot of damage I just took there. But I know that Kill the Bat, it looked like a weird little, like, thing running away. I'm trying to think of what other games do the customizing difficulty. Honestly, when I play Skyrim and I do modded Skyrim playthroughs, I kind of customize my own difficulty there too. Because I use mods and I say, I want this to be harder or this to be easier so that it's fun for me. This carriage seems to have swerved right into the castle's front gate. Its driver must have been distracted by a very big insect. Why are we getting big bugs? Big bug in chat. Someone failed their parallel parking. Me on my driver's test. Actually, that's not true. I did great at my parallel parking on my driver's test, so just saying. Can I parallel park now? No, because I haven't done it in years. But boy, when I was getting my driver's license, you bet I was the parallel parking master. Most games don't seem to do colorblind mode very well anyway, at least not for you, Rockstar. Usually they'll include 3 modes and none of them are better than turning it off. And that's, I mean, I'm not colorblind, but I know that you are, and that is sometimes a struggle, especially when like the enemy is red and like the allies are green or something like that. It makes it difficult and challenging. I don't know the different modes. I think and I'm totally taking a shot in the dark here because I haven't played Overwatch 2. But I think Overwatch/Overwatch 2 actually has like a fully customizable colorblind mode where you can set what the colors are for the different things. It's not just like the Deuteronomy, whatever. I don't think that's the right word, but whatever the right words are for the different colorblind mode options, it actually like lets you customize it. And I think that what's interesting when indie games have some of that customization and then AAA games don't. Like, if an indie game is able to do it and take the time to put that effort in, why can't these big devs do it? And it's because they're just trying to cater to the main demographic. I mean, it's kind of the... Oh, what I have is better. Why? It's kind of like the simplification of a lot of like RPG elements in games. I'm not against making, again, having the games be accessible, but like, give me an option. Oh, that was actually very well themed and climate appropriate. Thank you for the lightning. I got the cross. Okay, well now I have to not die here. It always seems to be make red enemies and make them slightly darker red, slightly yellower red or blue. You just need to be primary vibrant colors. Yeah, so like everyone's gonna be a little bit different in terms of what they need for that stuff. So why not let them customize it? I mean, again, I'm no game dev myself, but I do have some understanding of how some of that stuff works. But oh, we got a blood fountain. Very nice. It would be less sinister if it wasn't running on blood instead of water. I'm wondering how many innocents they had to kill to fill it. Meanwhile, Dan's just down here being a chicken. Oh, I'm getting hit by a skeleton. That's not fair. I was admiring my chicken friend. Can't do that. Can't just show up out of nowhere and smack me with the... Oh, you're in a pickle. We're in a pickle. Heal me, chicken. I'm out of healing. I just realized that. Time to escape. We have a problem. We have a problem. Okay, I'm out of healing. I genuinely don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Thank you for trying, Dan. Sadly, there's no healing to be had. I'm really hoping this is the... Oh. Hey, I don't care. If I die to the boss or whatever, I got out. Just a clutch panic teleport there. Yeah, I did not meet either of those challenge modes one bit. Just wanted the cross. Hi, Shinoa, can you not be so cryptic? Oh, I do have my one free death that I could use. So at least there's that. I don't know that if this is a boss. Maybe it's not Dracula's castle. Imposing, sinister, sprawling, red. All these adjectives fit this place. Very good. I would expect nothing less from Dracula's castle. I got an achievement, Into the Vampire's Den. Is this? No, this is just castle. More castle. Oh, these things. I don't know what they're called. Oh, they're fast. Good luck. Thank you. I think I'm gonna need it. I don't think I'm gonna last very long here. What do you mean elite armor knight? Okay, that wasn't so bad. That was pretty quick. It's weird that the bone throwing enemies that are kind of the more simplest have been one of the more challenging in terms of the damage. I feel like I've gotten like no stat upgrades though. Well, that's kind of a stat upgrade, I guess. These frying pans are doing some good work though. But yeah, wrapping up the previous topic, just being able to customize the difficulty in games, having different accessibility options, I think is all something that more games should strive for. and it's cool to see indie games do it. It's also cool to see all the crossovers, like I've mentioned. Bible. We're religious in Dracula's castle. Or I guess actually it's kind of the power of Bible compels you. Oh no, wait, Bible is a Simon Belmont thing. I think that's actually like one of the sub-weapons. Big pile of corpses. Wow, what is this enormous pile of corpses? It's if someone tried to make a ball of it. I wouldn't be too fond of fighting such a horror. Moreover, I suck at aerial combat. Hey, it looks like it's still breathing. Nope. Let's not. Let's leave. Drumstick. Don't need that. Why is there a skull with a ×2 next to my name? Is that bad? I think I'm cursed. I don't think that's a good thing. I think one of the things that is nice is games that I'm picking weird. Oh no, I have. Oh, where'd this guy come from? When games offer you those difficulty options, and they kind of like clearly explain what they do. Like I know some games have like a story mode, and it's like, hey, everything's gonna be easy. You can't die. It's just for the story, and they actually explain, as opposed to when it's like, I think of like the Doom difficulty levels where it just says kind of cryptic nonsense about, oh, this is like terrifying mode. All it does is, you know, give enemies more health or whatnot. It doesn't really give you a real description of what you're getting yourself into. The Katamari Ball took a terrible turn, young prince. Yeah, that's the Grand Falloon of corpses. Very not Katamari friendly. Actually, that's a game I haven't played, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. There's a bunch of kind of Nintendo games in the like GameCube era that I didn't play, and I would like to at some point go back to them. Katamari is one of them. There's also, I think Soma was released for a couple different platforms. Maybe I'll play that one next Halloween. Now that we're wrapping up this season, Soma would be a good one. That game has a lot of, I know, like sanity effects and stuff, and kind of like original Animal Crossing on the GameCube. If you reset without saving, Mr. Rossetti would show up and be like, hey, I'm gonna delete your save file, haha, and he'd like make the TV turn off, supposedly. Soma does all kinds of stuff like that. Rockstar, your sister loved Soma. She's big into the horror walking sim type ones. I don't know if you know or remember, but is Soma the one that has all the sanity effects? Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about it. I think it's actually on my Steam wishlist as well. I should grab that at some point. But the games that do weird things, ooh, I'm gonna Frost Blast. Games that do weird things like that are very fun. There's a card game, kind of, and that's not like Slay the Spire, but it's like under the guise of a roguelite card game. It's called Inscription, and it does a very similar thing where there's different points in the game that actually make you question your sanity, because it starts reading things like from maybe your Steam friends list or stuff like that, and getting all kinds of wild. Did I just loop all the way around? Yes, I did. You believe it does. You recall it's being similar to the Insanity Castle one? Insanity Castle one. I'm not super well versed with horror games, but Sanity Castle. The classic Insanity walking sim. Well, there's PT, which is like a newer one, but that's not a castle. I think that's just like going through a house. I played it. Insanity Castle, I played it. Classic. Huh. I'm blanking on it too. If I played it, I'd have to look back through. Do you have like a era or console that might help jog my memory a little bit? Walking around a castle. Fun fact, you can change the appearance on your consumable items. Oh yeah. That's right. We're talking about customization. So originally in Dead Cells, the consumables are all, ooh, that was a big hit. The consumables are all like meat products, and you can actually like change them to, I believe, be non-meat products and other things. So you don't have to eat meat kebabs, you can eat like not meat kebabs, which is another just cool little thing. First Person, about 10 to 15 years back, has a few sequels all about avoiding body hormone. Oh, Amnesia! Amnesia. Yeah. Yes, you are, yeah, that is the classic one, yep. Yeah, there's Amnesia Rebirth, Amnesia The Descent, and then there's another one that is, I can't remember the name of it, but you're like in a desert or something. I guess we'll leave. Soma is similar. Okay, well, yeah, I'd still like to give Soma a try. I played Amnesia, and I know it's a great game, and I have nothing against it at all whatsoever. It just wasn't a fit for me, because games that you don't get that kind of interaction with the thing that is chasing you, I struggle with a little bit. So, like, I played Resident Evil earlier this month, and that was great. Like, that was fun because, sure, there's eventually someone that you can't defeat, and they harass you around the entire map. But the fact that you can still, you know, shoot at the zombies, attack the zombies, and things like that feels good, even if it is sort of a little feeble. Let's see, recover health. I think I'm gonna get recover health. Even if it's a little feeble, like just being able to interact with the enemies in a way that isn't just hide in a closet. And I don't know if Amnesia stays that way the whole time, or if it gets different and there's more interaction that you can have. But I kind of just got a little bored of it. I got a little tired of running away all the time and hiding. So, but oh, is Death? I'm gonna have to fight Death, aren't I? Defiled Necropolis. That's a lot of dead. Oh yeah, it's a boss. Don't fear the Reaper. Yeah, it's Death. I really do not think I'm gonna get through this fight. I don't even have a second sub-weapon. Scythes for days, he resists cold. Can I break the scythe? Oh, he does get trapped though for a brief moment. I like this Death design. Death is a very mainstay enemy in the Castlevania series. Kind of interrupts his attack at least. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, that's a big scythe, friend. It's a big scythe you got there. I still don't know what this 2 is above my head, and I don't like it. The fact that that interrupts his attacks, though, holy cow, that's a big deal. This is also a fantastic rendition. Oh, that was big boom. No. Oh, okay. Heal. Get trapped, Death. Where's that gonna go? Oh, okay. Oh, that's bad. Heal, please. No, please, no, I canceled my heal. Did I actually, no. Is there a second phase? Wow. Actually did it? That's insane. I did not think that I would. Okay. All right. Well. And we get the Death Scythe. That's incredible. Waiting for him to grow an eyeball or extra arms, right? Well, I feel like normally when you fight... Oh, look, it's Bat. Is that Alucard? Normally when you fight Death in the Castlevania games, I feel like, yeah, he has 2 phases. Kind of ironic that I'm doing the Castlevania stuff as Vampire. Well fought. Sadly, the ritual went through. My father has been brought back into this world. Even if we killed his most trusted lieutenant, the situation is dire. Death is the lieutenant. I need to find a way to reach my father's sanctum. I'll come fetch you once I figure out what to do next. So, but really, why do I have the... Why do I have the ×2? Is there something that is Do I have something that is... Oh, I do! My Panchaku nunchucks. That's what that is. It does plus 100% damage, and I take 100% damage. That's why I'm getting, like, mega wrecked by some of those attacks. Very glad that death did not have a second form, which is a weird sentence out of context, but... Very happy that I completed it, and I get the Death Scythe. That's some good stuff. I will eventually... I'm just focusing on upgrading this health flask, because boy do I need it. So is that it for the DLC section? You don't actually fight Dracula, right? Like, that's not... Oh, what is this? Oh, that's the bank. I would be very surprised if you actually fought Dracula in this. That's just kind of like the aside, and now you're back on the main path. If you actually fight Dracula, that would be kind of cool. Oh, maybe you can if you have the jump. It does say graveyard. Slumbering Sanctuary. There's a few places I can't get to yet, but guess we'll go to the village. Well, we're now out of fun Castlevania themes. The music remixes honestly are one of the things that I appreciate the most out of it. Like, I'm a sucker for video game music, especially good classic video game music like the Castlevania games. That's the hook. They're like, buy Castlevania if you want to fight Dracula. Yeah, but the thing is that you kind of... Well, actually, you know, that's not true. They did re-release a couple of collections of the Castlevania games for the Switch. Actually, I think it was for all consoles, now that I think about it. They had the DS collection, which Rockstar, if you want to play some of the good ones, I would recommend you look into one of those collections, because you get 3 of them in it. And I think it has Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ecclesia, and one of the other ones from the DS era. They're all very good. There's also another one that has Symphony of the Night and the other like classics. It's on the Switch. It's also check Steam. Oh my goodness, those bats do a lot of damage. See, the downside is that I run away to try to heal. Yeah, actually here, let me just look real quick while I'm thinking about it, because I don't remember. It's not just on the Switch. There's the Advanced Collection, the Dominus Collection. Maybe it is just for the Switch. Yeah, Castlevania's Classic DS Trilogy is coming to the Switch. It might be on Steam as well, I don't know, but it's got some good stuff in it. Yeah, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. Dawn of Sorrow is the one I played a bunch. You have the Classic and Advanced Collection. The Dominus one came out in August. Maybe it's not for Steam. I don't know. I thought I saw it on Steam as well, but maybe it is like Switch exclusive temporarily or something like that. In any case, those would be the ones I'd really recommend. I never could do the classic ones. They're just too... Again, we're talking about like the difficulty of games and like the frustration level back when games like actively didn't want you to beat them so that they could inflate their playtime. I mean, you know, they were shorter games as well, but yeah, the Castlevania ones are tough. The story in all of them is pretty interesting. Symphony of the Night is a good one if you have that on the Advanced Collection, I think. I'd recommend that one. But I know you like to play through games in order, like you have with like Resident Evil and stuff like that, but I'm thinking that it might be okay to not for Castlevania if you do want to play it. If you do want to play them, of course, totally up to you. I'm not like shilling for Konami, the pachinko company. Which, like, that's one of the things that I've read a lot about, is that Konami shifted a lot of their development into, like, virtual pachinko arcade machines. And so they haven't been making as many games. Why am I getting shot by a little crystal? Chronology is a problem for you. You need to work on it. I mean, 100%ing games is a problem for me, so I feel you on that. when you have a specific way you like to play games, it's fun to play them that way, right? And especially, I know for you, you love the story of them. So like, being able to experience that from start to end is great. But yeah, sometimes the old ones are a little tougher to take. But I struggle, like, honestly, I almost burnt myself out when I was playing Tears of the Kingdom because I was trying too hard to get everything. And I was like traveling around the map, like looking for Koroks and trying to 100% all the Koroks, and I just got to the point where like, why am I doing this? I'm not following the whim of the map and exploring as I want to. I'm just like actively annoying myself trying to search every little nook and cranny, being like, oh, maybe there's a Korok in here. Oh, maybe there's a rock under here. And like there's a point in which I just found a challenge rift trying to go into a door. The challenge rift will definitely get me killed, so I'm not going to do that. It's just food. But yeah, being able to, you know, enjoy the way that you play games, but also be okay moving away from that when it is causing you frustration or not jiving with the current game you're playing. These little dudes just keep coming out of nowhere. Oh, badness. Badness has happened. This is a problem with this game where I run from enemies and then I just like pull more enemies toward me, and then I have created an absolute mess for myself to try to deal with. Oh, I did have the key. I'll just keep going then. The very shaky door that I opened there. So does doing the Castlevania DLC like just elongate the run because you still have to do the rest of it, or is it like take the place of some things? Actually, now that I'm saying that, I think it took the place of the ramparts and whatnot. So I think I just answered my own question. Really just looking for the skill ups at this point. Oh, I need a key. Just kidding. It does add new items to unlock. I'm really back in it again with the poisons enemies that wound you damage from. Okay. I'm really doing the whole. Ooh, what is this? The freezing thing. That's the end of that sentence that I couldn't finish. Assassin's Dagger inflicts a critical hit when you stab your enemy in the back. I think that might be good only because. Oh yeah, plus damage to frozen targets, and I don't have to have the ×2 damage taken anymore because that wasn't really working out so well for me. So I need to find a key. Is the key down here? Mayhaps it is. Nope, it's not. Another locked door. Really the arch nemesis of most any a video game. A door, a locked door. Really smacked right into that. The poison in the flames is a little visually confusing, but you can just unlock the head. It's a weird sentence. The visual confusing nature you can also tone down, not to continue to harp on the same subject. But you can customize and tone down the different things that pop up on the screen. So all of the like screen effects and flashes and stuff like that, you can customize those, which is nice. I like that the weird little worm guys can just teleport all over the place. I mean, I say that I like that, I don't actually like that, it's very uncool. In fact, it's very rude of them to do so. So I have the key, and we can now mosey on further. Oh, the clock tower. Yeah, I'm excited to unlock the scythe. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm still gonna focus on unlocking the health flask first, but how much is the scythe? It's only 50. It's green, that's interesting. They explode on nearby targets, dealing critical damage in proportion to the reanimated target's maximum health. That's cool. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to use. The cross is throw a cross in front of you, returns after a few seconds, dealing critical damage when spinning in place on the way back. Okay. Okay. These are the new mutations that I just now realized I have that I could unlock. That's cool. Didn't notice those before either. And then a bunch of outfits. Okay. Let's go through the clock tower, I suppose. I'm not using the bow, but I'll upgrade. Yeah, just lots of freezing. Once again, with the long press to empty your backpack situation. The clock tower is always such a journey. Did I even go the... Yeah, I think just up is the way to go. Not gonna lie, I was kind of looking forward to fighting Alucard Drac, but fair enough that we didn't. No complaints. I got some Castlevania remixes, so I'm happy. It does make me want to replay the Castlevania games, though, for sure. And I never played Portrait of Ruin, I think, was the one that I didn't play. I also actually never played Symphony of the Night, which is the big deal one. They're all a little grindy. Like, again, depending on how you want to play it. If you want to get all of the items or unlocks and stuff, you have to kind of, you know, farm enemies a bunch to get the drops. But for the most part, you can play through the game just fine, and you don't have to worry about all that stuff. But if you do want to get all the unlocks, it can get a little tedious. The enemies stay frozen for a very long time with this build. I wish that guy would go away, though. It's almost like worse when you have such a good synergy build like I've got going on right now. Because then I'm just like, well, if I heck it up and lose to the timekeeper clock tower guy, then it's all for naught, right? I don't think I need to buy anything. I should probably just empty my backpack though, because I don't need the bow that's in here. And then that message can finally go away. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Taking arrow hits from the little dudes is not what we're after here at all. No, thank you very much. It's really just, I think that a lot of games are requiring patience. That, like, when I think back to a lot of like classic JRPG games that I played and I loved. Like there's tons of them. I don't know if I need to get this, but we're gonna get it. There's tons of JRPG games that when I was younger I played just forever and for hours, and it was so fun. But the thought of going into a really big, like, story-driven JRPG game is kind of daunting for me at this point. Just, like, there's so many other things grabbing for my attention that to sit down and try to get through a, you know, multiple hundred... Oh, he has a shield. Multiple 100-hour game is tough. I want to, because some of them I know are fantastic. Like, I hear lots of amazing things about, like, the Persona series and all of that. But I worry about getting into it and then getting burnt out on it, because you kind of like lose the whole momentum. And I want to be able to appreciate the story and like to take a break from a game that's that in depth and come back. Like, I'm gonna have a hard time with the story. Honestly, that's happened with Baldur's Gate 3. A fascinating game. Fascinating? Fantastic game. Absolutely love it. My wife and I were playing, and we got towards the end of Act 2 and like haven't played it since because, you know, life gets lifey, and there you go. But to get back into it and get back into the story is gonna be tough. We're absolutely spoiled for choice, paralyzed by indecision constantly. Well, like that's a good point too, though, is that not only sure the games were, you know, longer perhaps in terms of the story ones, like when I'm talking about the JRPGs and all that, but games that just in general I say back in the day like I'm like ancient, but when I was younger, you didn't have as many choices, right? You had the console war systems, PlayStation, maybe Xbox at some point, or it was PlayStation, Nintendo for the longest time, and maybe a couple like spin-offs, but there was some lightning. We heard the lightning. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. That's actually, I have been yammering on for a minute. I appreciate that. Thank you, Tall Sunflower. Also, thank you for the lightning, which is a weird thing to thank, but do enjoy me some storms. But in any case, the thing with games back then is like, yeah, we just didn't have as much of a choice, which is not a bad thing, but it just meant that what we picked was more impactful, and I think we kind of stuck with it longer because we only had so many options. Now, I mean, like, I'm one of them that I have the humble monthly choice bundle, Omega, whatever they're calling it now. I don't even know, they've changed the name a couple times, but so I just got this month's games just unlocked, showing up in my library, which is cool because I mean I like cheap games, inexpensive games, deals, bundles, all that stuff. Feels very good. But then I have 800 games in my Steam library that I've played 1% of, right? Dan, nowadays you can't even finish a darn game. Yeah, it's and that's why I'm so hesitant to get into those big story ones. And maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe it's get into them, enjoy them for a while you can, and let their time be, right? Like if you enjoy it for the 5-10 hours you play the 100-hour story game, cool, you got 5-10 hours of enjoyment out of that. That's, you know, probably as much as going to the movies, and about the same price, but you get more hours of enjoyment out of it. I need to heal. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. We've gotten to a point also where we're measuring like enjoyment of things in terms of length. Like if a game isn't an open world multi-100-hour game, it's like, well, am I getting my money's worth out of this game? It's like, do you have fun? Did you enjoy the fact that you know, played a game for a few hours? Whether it's, I mean, again, I use the movie analogy because I feel like that resonates with me. Going to the movies, the movie tickets are like $20, and then of course, because I gotta have my popcorn. Gotta have my popcorn. The big bucket that I can get the refill on and have popcorn for days. So you're paying $30-40 to go to the movies with, you know, aside from if you're going with other people. And to get a game that's $60 is a big investment. But if you get, you know, 10 hours out of that, that's 3 movies worth, to kind of put it in that perspective. So I don't think that the equating time to money spent is always a fair argument, but it just depends. Seeing you're the opposite now, Mr. Rockstar, you prefer a short and linear experience because every big and open world game feels the same. 10 hours of real content and 80 hours of boring recycled filler mechanics. Yeah. Plus it feels like you accomplish more. And that's, I think there's a good middle ground, and I think that's kind of where indie games shine. The big trend has been towards all of the big, massive open world stuff. And I mean, Legend of Zelda did it too. There's nothing wrong with it. It works for some people. I love Breath of the Wild. I love Tears of the Kingdom. But like, yeah, I got really burnt out on Tears of the Kingdom. Part of it was how I was playing it, but also it just is, there's so much that you get to this point where it's just like, okay, let's wrap it up now. Come on, let's wrap it up. Let's get it going. Let's move it along. And that's the thing that I think games need to find a nice middle ground with, right? And I think indie games do a pretty good job with that. I think indie games typically do a good job of finding that middle ground when they're the story-driven kind. Maybe they're even, you know, shorter, but having the recycled content works if you're going to have a little bit more linear of a path through that. Like, sure, you can go off rails and explore a little bit, but if you don't, that's okay. And, or rather, it should be okay, and you shouldn't be, I guess, like, seeing the same stuff all the time. But then again, how are you gonna not? Also, I love the fact that I just, like, froze him while he was trying to do that attack. And this build is kind of cracked. Oh, get behind him! Get behind him! Yeah. I've had very good success with the Timekeeper lately. So yeah, basically, I don't even know where that whole soapbox started, talking about games and content and length, but just, I think we have a lot of things vying for our attention now, especially when it comes to games, and so our time with video games feels much more precious. And that makes it hard for me to want to try to sit down and play a really big, long, in-depth game, which is a shame because I think I am missing out on some experiences. And it's, again, going back to what I was talking about, the way that I play games. I tend to be more of a completionist, for better or for worse. Sometimes that's fun, and sometimes I start driving myself mad with it. And sometimes, like, I have to pull myself away from the game and be like, look, you've had fun with this. This is good. Let's let it be. Let's move on. Let's not slog through some of the nitty-gritty collectibles or whatever else it is if it's not being enjoyable. But I think that if I can shift my focus on how I am consuming games, I think that it'll help a little bit and not feel like I have to get every little ounce out of it and just enjoy it for what I can. If I want to check out a Persona game, which I do, because I'm interested in them, it's just the time stamp on them scares me a little bit. But if I only play it for 10 hours and I move on to something else, that's okay, right? That's kind of the point, in a way. Just have fun with what you want to have fun with. Oh, this is just a lore room. But yeah, we are just constantly bombarded with things vying for our attention in all sorts of media. Social and otherwise. I'm definitely the kind of person that, like, when I get ads on, like, YouTube or whatever, especially, sometimes I'm like, okay, that's a short ad, that's fine, I can handle that. But when they're really, really long, and I see them a lot, I kind of start to think, oh, maybe I don't want to buy your product. Maybe actually your ad has done the exact opposite and made me now not want to purchase your thing. Kind of like backfires a little bit, right? So, hold on one sec. Rockstar, you need to tell yourself if an 80-hour game only holds your attention for 5 hours, then it's not the game for you right now. Move on, try a new one. Yeah, like I totally agree with that. I think that's a great frame of mind to have. It's, I think, just harder to put myself in it, and maybe I am kind of falling into that trap as well. And maybe that's, I don't know what it's like exactly for you, but being in that situation where I'm like, oh, I've spent X. I need to heal. Let me interrupt myself. I've spent $60 on this game, or X amount of dollars on this game. I need to get my full value out of it. I should play the game. It's the kind of shoulding ourselves thing that can cause some of that problem too. Like the expectation that we put on ourselves of how we should enjoy a form of media or how we should enjoy a game is challenging when we feel like we're not living up to that, but there's nothing to live up to. Like you said, it's not the game for you right now. It's not holding your attention. Come back to it later maybe, or not. And that's okay, you know? Nothing wrong with that. Like, example, Amnesia for me. Like I was talking about that earlier. I played it for, 4 or 5 hours or something, and it just wasn't holding my attention. I was getting a little bored of it, and so I dropped it. And I was like, this isn't working for me. Whether it's the kind of thing that later I go back and try again, I've still got it in my library. I mean, for as long as Steam exists, and I can't put my Steam library in my will, according to Valve. So that's a totally different topic, but There's no reason that you can't circle back around to play other games. Absolutely none at all. It just feels like you kind of have to all or nothing at a lot of the time. And there's a lot of things that are doing that. We don't need to do that to ourselves in our hobby, right? Where am I even going? Oh, I can't go this way. And says no rules about lost property, aka passwords. Hey, very true. I'm sure that there's some sort of sticky legal nonsense that they could get you with, but like, yeah. Just transfer the password and, you know, change the username, change the account information, and there you go. That's your inheritance. There's a website that I looked at before that, I mean, I don't know if it's the same one. It shows you how much money is in your Steam account based on like the, I think, current price of the games or something like that. And then it also shows you like how many games you have, how many you've played, and how long it may take you to play through your entire Steam library, like based on the time to complete website data, which is just absolutely cool and terrifying at the same time. If you're in that situation where like, wow, I really want to get through my backlog of games, and then you get there and you're like, oh, this will take me like 4 years to complete all of my Steam games. Great. The website is very daunting. It's fun data. I love me some data, but I don't necessarily need to see just how long it will take me to complete all my Steam library. And there's honestly like, there are plenty of games in my Steam library that I don't care about. And that's the weird like gift and curse of the bundles of games, like the Humble Bundle and all that. That like, when I get these games, I'm paying like $13, $15 a month, I don't know, taxes, all that, that I think, you know, it's a great deal. Maybe I get a $60 game for $15, but that's 1 out of 8 games, and I don't care about the other 7. Maybe I'll play them for a little bit, but a lot of times I'm like, yeah, this doesn't really seem interesting, and I'll put it like, you know, somewhere down lower in the list or something like that. Rockstark, you said that yours was 4 years at 40 hours a week or something? Dang. Full-time jobbing, you playing your games that would take you 4 years. That's wild. Absolutely wild. I don't remember what mine is. I pulled 4 years out of a hat, my brain hat. But I don't remember. I have to look. 400 years? Is that yours, Quackle? I don't know that I believe that, if that's what you're saying, but I do think I almost have 1,000 games on Steam. And at one point I'm like, yeah, it'll be cool to hit 1,000 games on Steam. Like, it's a weird point of bragging. I don't think it'll be cool to hit 1,000 games on Steam. The other weird thing that the Humble Bundle does to me is I'm like, oh, here's this game that I want to get. And I'm like, ooh, well, it is on sale, but it's like $20. Maybe I shouldn't get it in case it shows up on the Humble Bundle later. And then I just never get the game. That's not counting the GOG libraries or the others. That's true, that's only Steam. So 4 years at 40 hours a week does not include all the GOG games that you have and stuff. No, not 400 years, okay. All right. We'll see how this goes. We've been here a couple times before, and it has been to, varying levels of success. Why did I get stuck on that guy? And by varying levels of success, I mean not. The levels of success have been non with left beef success. So I need to, apparently I need to just keep talking, because that was working pretty good from before. Why does that reach so far? Oh, please no. Please no. You know what's bad? Heal, 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 heal. Oh, I don't have my thing. I don't have my get out of jail free card. I don't have my get out of jail free card. Please heal. Please heal. Please. 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 Oh, I'm really out of rhythm. Oh God. Oh, that's bad. I'm out of healing. Please no. Oh, I'm really nervous. Oh, it's not looking good. Oh. Oh, I don't remember him being so difficult. I just get in a panic. I just get in a panic. I start out so strong and I start out so in tune with it all. And then something throws me off and it just all spirals out of control from there. But you know what? That's the name of the game, isn't it? We tried. It's a good build. Got really far. I think I started paying too much attention, honestly. When I was breezing through the levels, doing pretty okay, I was just, yammering on my soapbox. Maybe that's what I need to do. There's a level of distraction which is beneficial. You're not you're in that flow state or something, I don't know. Ah, there you are. I looked for you everywhere in this sordid prison. Found a way to reach my father's throne room. For real this time. Your island houses a clock tower just like my father's castle. Hey, clock tower. We should be able to exploit this similarity and go back to my world to fight him. Oh, so you do get to go fight Dracula, perhaps. Oh, put the vampire teeth in? All right, Mr. Rockstar, we'll put the vampire teeth in. I'm gonna read the last bit of his dialogue with the vampire teeth in.
We should be able to exploit the similarity and go back to my world to fight him. I'll see you in the clock room. Try not to die until then. You can only enter the Return to Castlevania DLC once per run. I don't really know what that means, but here we are, more lightning happening behind me. Very good. In front of me, all around me. One can't really kill death itself. There wouldn't be any respite for you mortals. Very, very good. I'm trying to debate if I want to do another run or not, because I'm getting a little bit tired. And I might actually wrap up with the vampire teeth, of course. Yeah, I think that's been 30 seconds.
The vampire teeth bit, sorry, I forgot to mute before. I just sucked the saliva out of my face. The vampire teeth bit is pretty good. I do kind of enjoy that, but it's fitting thematically. I think I am gonna wrap up because I'm pretty tired, and I think part of it is because I've put myself in this dark room with a really bright light on my face, which is great for the effect that I'm going for. Less great for the eyes staying awake. There's, the room balance and things. Maybe that's why I have these glasses. Normally I don't live in the dark, but as a vampire, we must stay in the darkness. But anyway, I think I'm gonna, like I said, I think I'm gonna wrap up. And I really appreciate everybody that's, ooh, lightning in the transition. Very fun. Hope you all have a fantastic Halloween tomorrow, whatever it is that you are doing. Hope you get some candy. Hope you get some lightning and thunderstorms. Actually, don't. No storms. Everybody be safe. Everybody be safe. Special effects, lightning and thunderstorms. That's always good. That's always fun. Yeah. So I bid you, let's do the teeth once more, shall we?
I bid you a good night, and thank you for spending your evening with me here tonight. Fare thee well.